Hey there, Carmine. How are you doing?
There you go. You hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good.
Yes, excellent. How are
Sorry,
you doing today?
my lighting isn't that great, but
You're good. Luckily,
where are you? Looks like you're outside.
I am. I'm in Napa, California, and I'll show you. It's a real feast, you know. I'm
Oh,
about
so it's only 6:30 there. Yeah,
yeah, it's early still. So,
I got woods all around me. I'm in Connecticut.
oh, nice. Okay. So, how long have you lived in Connecticut?
Well, it's my girlfriend's house. She's had the house since 1988. I've been with her 17 years. So I've been coming out here, and we're actually sold the house, and we're packing. Right? We've been packing for the last month or so. On the 28th, we're moving to Florida.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
Okay.
we have another place, nice apartment in New York. So we'll be between Florida and New York, and then I'll be visiting my kids and the rest of my family in LA.
So you're gonna be all over.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm going to be a Florida resident, you know. I
Yeah.
like the
What?
tropics.
Oh, is that it? What inspired the Florida move?
Yeah, I've been in LA, like, I moved to LA in 75, 76, and I was there till pretty much 2012, but I sold my place in LA a year ago. So with the plan to move to Florida, so by the time we found the house and closed on it and we started renovating it, it wasn't going to be ready till now. And then we had to put this one up for sale. So we sold this while we were in quarantine.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure that was a pretty tough sell right now, right?
Yeah, we tried to sell in the fall and nobody was buying, so we had to lower the price and sell it. We were planning to put it back on the market in February, just as we did, beginning of March, this stuff started. And we put a camera in the kitchen. We told the realtor when anybody comes in, they got to wash their hands and uh, and use the sanitizer, before they go walking around the house. And we had the camera watching everybody. So, but we ended up selling it, and which was good. And then all my gigs got canceled, so it left me here. We left New York on March 11th, and we're going back there next Sunday to get some stuff that we have to take to Florida.
Yeah. So were you in the middle of a tour when everything shut down
Yeah,
in March?
yeah, we had 6 cactus gigs we were doing, and those got blown out. And then we had about another 12 vanilla fudge gigs in April, and I had another gig with my Rod Experience show in May. So altogether,
Hang on 1 second. Vinny's calling. So let me answer. See how he's doing. 1 second.
okay.
Hey, Vinny, how you doing?
Okay, Steve, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Were you able to get the Zoom link to work?
I don't have any Zoom information.
Oh, okay. It's
Let me see. Let me see.
Hold on.
Uh,
I could send them the info, the
yeah,
invite. Hold on. I
yeah. It
just
should
got
be
it
in
from
the
John.
email.
It's in the email, but
which
I had to get it from John because it was buried in the email, you know. Hold
Yeah.
on.
okay. Let me.
You got it, Vinny?
Hey, the email from whenever yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, I see it now. There's so many fucking emails in here.
That's what I just said.
Right on Zoom. Okay.
Same thing I just said, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. I'm talking to Carmine, so you can pop in when you get in. Okay. No worries.
But I'll call you. I'll call you back on Zoom.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Thanks.
There's no password, right?
There's no password. You should be able to just get in.
Okay, cool. Okay, bye.
Cool. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, I was surprised no password too, because every
I
Zoom
know.
we've been doing Zoom every Saturday with our family all over the country, and we've always needed a password, you know.
Yeah, I should set it up with a password next time. I don't know. Maybe we'll get Zoom bombed or something like that because I didn't use a password. But yeah, you've been doing the calls every weekend, huh, with the family? Is that
Yeah, I'd be honest, I never heard of Zoom before this lockdown.
you and me both?
Yeah, and then now it seems Zoom is the way to go. Well, you
Yeah.
should have bought stock in Zoom.
I know, right? Right at the beginning of this, so you'd probably be
Oh, there he is. Oh, how did I do that? How did you do your logo up there?
Hello?
Yeah.
There
Vinny,
he is.
were you on your phone?
Yeah.
Turn your phone the other way so we got a better view of you.
All right. Well, I look like shit, but that's
Oh,
okay.
that's better. That's much better.
Okay.
Cool. How'd you get your logo on the beginning of this thing?
I don't know.
I think it asks for a picture probably, and
I don't know.
use that if you're not on camera, right? So,
I just saw that actually. I went, oh, the logo's on there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay. There we go.
How you doing, Vinny?
Good. How are you, Steve?
Doing good. You down in LA right now?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm outside of San Diego somewhere.
Somewhere out there.
Yeah. It's actually
Hey.
nice and cool. Beautiful out.
Hey, Vinny, before we talk, did you listen to Artie's video? Did you see it?
I heard this audio earlier today,
No,
and I
he
said it
sent
was
the
great.
he sent the video. It looks really good.
Where's the video?
Yeah, this is the video that why we're doing these calls. It's the Monsters and Heroes song that we recorded on our album a couple of years ago. And, you know, about 2 weeks ago, Vinny said, hey, we should do one of these videos like everybody's doing, where everybody's got their own little square, you know? And so we said, yeah, well, let's do Monsters and Heroes. That was the biggest song off the record. So we started doing it. And then last week, Vinny said, you know, on the 16th, it's Ronnie's anniversary of his passing, 10 years. I said, wow, it's 10 years already. You know, so we said, well, why don't we celebrate Ronnie and release that MP3 and the video. And then I said, well, let's get somebody to set up some interviews and stuff. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So here we are.
Okay, I got it. All right, I'll watch it after the show.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So 10 years, right? So
Yeah.
when was the last time that you guys were with Theo? When was the last time you hung out with him?
At the hospital when he
At
was.
the hospital, we all, he had more people at the hospital that they had to find a room to put everybody. Remember that?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So many people, so they found like a room that they put everybody in there, and then they had some water in there and stuff. There's 20, 30 people in there at least, because we were all hanging out in his room, and then people come out, other people go in, everyone was hanging in the hallways, you know, and it was quite an event, yeah, but it was sad, so sad, because he looked so bad, you know.
Yeah. There was a lot of people there. That's because, Wendy called and said on Friday, you better come down. I don't think he's going to make it. Unfortunately, it was really sad. And then, so we went down, and I went down Friday night and Saturday. And then when we left Saturday night, that's the last time I saw him, and he passed that night, you know.
And then it was the funeral, the church service for him, and the funeral, the cemetery. It was just all really, it's really surreal, you know. I'm saying, this
Yeah, it was hard.
Ronnie's gone, you know. It's like, whoa, you know.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Tell me about the funeral. Like what was the experience like for you, kind of going to, you know, the funeral, and especially, you know, Vinny, you being in the band with him and everything. Like, just close, you know, tell me about that experience.
Well, the experience, the problem was they were going to have, Wendy was planning a funeral, so they had to keep him on ice, so to speak, because it wasn't like a local funeral. It was people from all around the world that are going to fly in and come to the funeral. So they had, you know, it took 2 weeks. So, okay, so then the day of the funeral, somehow the doors were closed in the cemetery chapel, and somehow I'm up in the front, and then they open the doors. I go, oh, and I look in, and I could see the casket down all the way at the front of the altar, and it's open.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I don't want to see this, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be the first one in, but I wound up being the first one in, and really didn't want to see Ronnie, you know, at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty sad, you know. It was really sad when Tony and Geezer were there, I've never experienced a band member dying, and the three of us are standing there like, hey man, we're the band and there's the singer.
Yeah.
Usually we'd be rehearsing or on stage, you know, so it was one of the saddest moments I've experienced because, you know, it's so weird. You're a band and then we're not a band now that he's there, you know. It was really
Yeah, it's not even on
bad.
this earth anymore. Terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
so-
I know for me, open caskets don't work for me. You
Mhm.
know, ever since, I mean, when my mom passed away, the casket was open. I didn't want to go in and see her that way. But Vinny and my other family members forced me to go. And
I don't even know why they do it, you know. It's like,
yeah,
it
it's
doesn't look
terrible.
like the person. Doesn't look like any
Now, if
person.
anyone dies, they go, you want to come to the funeral? I go, is it an open casket? And they go, yeah, I'm not going. You know, but I went.
What if they say if it's an open casket and a buffet?
There's a meal there.
Well, it depends what they're
Then
serving.
you'd go.
It depends what they're serving then.
Soon if there's sandwiches.
Yeah, tuna sandwiches. But
Yeah.
it was you know, I remember walking in, looking at Ronnie and feeling like, you know, because through Vinny, I knew Ronnie before Vinny knew him, and when I was asked to join Rainbow when he was in it, and then when Vinny started playing with him, we started all becoming friends, and he became like family member. He used to come to our parties and, you know, Christmas time and Thanksgiving and stuff, and
Yeah.
so I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking about that, and I was so sad. It was just so sad, you know. It's
Yeah.
horrible. Yeah, and he was such a great talent, you know.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Great talent, you know.
So
So anyway, this thing came up by accident, you know. We were doing this video anyway, and then Vinny said, you know, it's Ronnie's Davis passing on May 16th. We should celebrate it. I said, great.
I didn't even realize that until what, a day later or something, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like 10 years ago, right? Like, I mean, like,
Nah, time
Yeah.
flies, man. I think when you get older, you know,
Goes
each
faster.
day each day goes faster because it's a shorter point in your life. When you're a young kid, one whole day was a whole big part of your life because you're only 10 years old. But
Yeah, especially now with this
now
thing.
that I'm 30,
Yeah, now that you're 30, right?
right.
With this lockdown, the days seem to be flying by for me. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. Like, I wake up and next thing I know, it's 9:30 at night and I'm talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this weird time warp sort of thing, right? Because it's
Yeah,
like
it's like,
so slow because you see the end and you're like, where is the end? And you're like, when am I going to get there? Especially, you know, I mean, I have 2 kids and I'm doing the homeschooling thing with them, you know, kind of working that out with their mom because they're with their mom 4 days a week. And
are you in California?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like I'm looking forward to summer when we don't need to do that bullshit anymore, you know,
Yeah.
and at least get a
I'm having airport withdrawals.
yeah.
Like I'm supposed to pack and go somewhere.
yeah.
I've never been home this long.
Yeah,
Great.
you want to get out, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
but
We both had gigs booked and they're all, you know, canceled to God knows when, you know.
yeah. So let's talk about the positive times. I mean, the early times for you guys with Ronnie and like how those relationships formed. Like how did you meet him in the first place, and you know, and get to be in bands with him?
Well, mine is easier. So I met Ronnie when he was with Elf and he was playing, I believe he was opening for Deep Purple.
yeah.
We were all in California. He was in California and I met him. We all hung out at the Rainbow, got to know him. And then, you know, saw him a lot through the years. And then, you know, I knew he was in Sabbath. And then Vinny auditioned for Sabbath. Next thing I know, Vinny's playing with Ronnie and the guys in Sabbath who I knew also. And it was pretty cool, you know. And then Vinny's got some great stories, of course. And Vinny?
Yeah, I'm just looking at these lists of interviews. It's so confusing because he keeps sending different emails.
Yeah, I know. It's got to be on one. It's got to be on one.
I missed the 1 o'clock one
Right.
because I just spaced out and went to the 2 o'clock one at 1:15.
Yeah. Well, I called Steve. I called Steve and said, I can't find the password, you know? And
Yeah,
at first
I know.
first I called John. I said, where is this, the Zoom thing for this one? Because I got so many emails, they're lost somewhere in my emails.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's confusing. This high-tech interviews are what they are.
yeah.
But anyway, I met Ronnie when I joined Sabbath, which was 1980. And actually, right before that, I was driving on the San Diego freeway, and Neon Nights came on the radio with Ronnie singing. And I didn't really know who Ronnie was. I heard him on Man on the Silver Mountain and so a little bit of Rainbow. I wasn't that familiar with him. And when that song came on, I said, wow, that new Sabbath singer sounds great. They sound great. What a kick-ass song. And then 2 weeks later, I get a phone call and, hey, we're looking for a drummer. And do you want to come down and meet Tony Iommi at the hotel? And this is in LA. I went, yeah, sure. So I went down, met Tony the next day, and we hit it off really well. So he invited me down to the rehearsal the next day. They only had 4 days off to get a drummer, because Bill left in the middle of the Heaven Hell tour.
Yeah.
So I went down and played with them, and then I was in. So then it was like learn all the songs every minute of the day for 4 days. And the first 2 days, we played a bit and went to the pub to celebrate.
Yeah.
I did.
It's very English.
They did. Yeah, they did. And I stayed back in the room with the keyboard player and worked on the songs, And then we got to the fourth day and everybody started getting nervous. We better rehearse. And so we pulled it off, but it was a bit sloppy here and there, but nobody knows.
Yeah. Was that one of the big challenges for you, like learning, that much material in such a short period of time?
Yeah, because we were playing a lot of the old Sabbath stuff, and there's a lot of different time changes and tempo changes and parts. So it wasn't like playing like a really simple, easy, totally easy song like "Do You Think I'm Sexy?"
I knew you were going to say that. I was thinking of Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
No, that stops.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, so it was all these complicated little parts in there and stuff that were pretty crazy. But yeah, it was pretty challenging,
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
Carmine, do you think I'm sexy? So tell me about that.
Well, that was the first song I wrote with Rod, and it went to #1 in 15 countries. It made a fortune of money. And the way it happened, he wanted a song like Missing You, like the Rolling Stones. So I went back to my house. I had a keyboard, and I wrote these chords and the groove. And then I went to my buddy's house, and we put it down, and he had a little studio. And when we actually recorded it with 3 guitars, bass, drums, and a keyboard, it was really pretty rock and roll heavy, And then the producer, Tom Dowd, put all this other crap on it. It really didn't matter. We had the guitar doing the with a keyboard, and that was fine. There was drum sound was big, and the guitars were big. And then by the time he finished putting the 20-piece orchestra and another synthesizer and David Foster and Tom Scott and a percussionist and all this stuff, everything shrunk down to what it came out to be like a disco rock song.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't argue with him because it went to #1. It sold, I don't know, in America it sold like 3 million singles, and the album sold 10 million albums.
Mm-hmm.
So Vinny never sold 10 million albums.
Oh, I can see that brotherly comment.
I sold 9,999,000.
Yeah, right there on your
Yeah,
doorstep.
but it was amazing. But like Vinny was talking about his thing with Sabbath, rehearsal. That happened with me with Ozzy, because they didn't get the right visa for me to go rehearse in England, so I had to listen to a live thing with Tommy Aldridge, write the parts down, and then I had like a sound check to learn to actually play with the band. And when I first played with the band, like I went in to play with them to see if it was going to work. I was already in France. I went and played with them as a visitor's visa, and then I went back home. And then it was supposed to get a visa, and I never did. So as Vinny did, I had a book of
Yeah,
all the
I had the book.
parts, and we played the first one. It was like a 5,000 seater, and it was the same thing. We had no rehearsal, and but he at least rehearsed 4 times.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when I was in Europe with Ozzy, he was with Sabbath, I think, right?
Yeah.
And we were both touring Europe, playing.
No,
the
that was
same-
with Dio. I was with Dio.
Are you with
when that
Dio?
happened.
And
That
we
was later
played-
on.
We were both playing the same venues, right?
Yeah.
And Vinny was leaving notes on the dressing room wall, or I would leave him notes. And it was pretty funny, actually.
Communicating.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I played the same songs. I played the same songs with Ozzy that Vinny had to play with Black Sabbath.
I mean, the odds of that are just incredible, right? Like, I mean, just that happening. I mean, and it goes back to you guys having the same drum teacher as a kid. You
Yeah.
know, I'm sure there's some magic in that drum teacher. I want to hear about. Like,
Yeah.
and still-
Unfortunately, he just passed away of the coronavirus.
really?
Oh,
Unfortunately,
he's 85. He was
He's
85.
85, and yeah, he went into a hospital for something.
Good guy.
A great guy, great teacher.
Yep.
Inspired both of us, and he, we were like, he was so proud of us both. We did a drum clinic in New York City, and he came to it, and we got him up to play with us, but we took it easy on him.
Yeah. What was his name?
His name was Dick Bennett,
Okay.
but his real name was Dick Beneducci. He was Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we were going to bring him up, we planned. We said, well, let's take it easy on him. Don't play so loud. So we had a third drum set, and we brought him up, and he was so proud of us.
Yeah.
And so as kids in your household, like, I mean, the two drummers, usually you don't get two drummers in a household, right? Because you want to fill that need of a band. You need the guitarist and the bassist and
Yeah.
everything, right? So
Well, back when I started, there wasn't that going on yet, because when I started, the rock was just starting.
No, there were no brothers really, right?
No, yeah.
Even the Allman brothers, maybe.
There was nothing, and we had an older brother that had a doo-wop group, singing group. So when Vinny was really young, I was practicing with my band, and my older brother was practicing with the doo-wop group in there, and but it wasn't at the same time. I was already gone when he started, and because I left drums home, and he saw me on TV and the records and the posters and the magazines. It inspired him to want to be a drummer. And there's actually, with me and Vinny, there's about 5 other drummers on my father's side of the family. Most of them had the last name Appice as well. Yeah, so it's pretty wild.
So you come from a line of drummers, and and so it felt natural, kind of growing up, to kind of just get behind the kit, right?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, for me, it was getting behind my cousin's kit whenever we went there. For Vinny, I left the kit home.
Yeah, so I had the kid at home.
So he would practice.
I didn't even think hey, maybe I should try a different instrument, why play the same instrument? But it wasn't like that. It was like, I want to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
So
He went, but I remember the day I went home, and he was like, I don't know, 9 years old, or 10 years old, 8 years old. And he, short, and he's pulling on my pants, says, come listen to this. And he pulls me into the porch where we had the drum set, and he starts playing. And I said, wow, So my mother come in, he said, what do you think? I said, who taught him this? She goes, he taught himself. He's in there all the time. He's driving me crazy like you did.
You thought they'd get rid of it, right? It would end when you left, right?
Yeah, so on our
I
album,
started all over again, except louder.
Louder, yeah. On our album, we wrote a song called Brothers and Drums, which tells that story, and we even got my mother in there saying, he's driving me crazy like you did. And and then when I saw his talent, I said, my mother said, what do you think? I said, well, that's really good. So what should we do? I said, I think we should send him to Dick Bennett, and let him learn properly. So he was really young. By the time he was 12, he was already great,
Yeah, I started lessons at 10 for almost 2.5 years. And then I was, playing with older guys all the time.
Yeah.
Was there ever any doubt in either of your minds, like that this is what you wanted to do with your life? This was what the path you were going to take?
No doubt.
He had no doubt. I didn't know because, I played drums all through my teens. I made money. I bought a brand new car. And when I graduated high school, I never went to college, but I majored in music, and I sang doo-wop in the subways. So I was well into, the music, but I played music, but I got a job after high school. And I had I think it was in 6 weeks, I had 2 jobs. I got fired from both of them. And then before I got fired from one of them, I went to my father. I said, look, Pop, I said, I worked all week for $45. I worked all week. I got $45 after taxes. Then I work on the weekend and I make $150 or $200 cash. What do you think I should do? So my father said, well, I guess the weekend's better. I said, that's what I thought. So with that in mind, I got fired. And then I did music from, I was like 18 years old on, and I bought my first car by myself, a brand new car. And then I played clubs, and the clubs actually graduated into Vanilla Fudge, and I made it, I couldn't believe it. I said, that was easy.
Yeah. And so Carmine,
I joined them, and 9 months later we made it. We had a hit record on the radio. And I said to myself, wow, that was easy, and everybody else. But then it was harder to stay there than it was to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about Vanilla Fudge and kind of the evolution of Vanilla Fudge, because you brought it back, several times, and now it's kind of this presence in your life still, right?
Yeah, we broke up. We were together only 4 years, but we created such a mark for ourselves. You Keep Me Hanging On, and that first album just influenced so many other bands and so much other people, and and us individually.
Even the Beatles heard it.
Yeah, even the Beatles heard it. Like George Harrison used to carry it around, and I thought maybe it was a rumor, and I confirmed it when I was at Rod Stewart and I met Paul McCartney. And he said, yeah, George took it to parties. He loved you guys. And I met all the Beatles except Ringo. He's the only one I never met, But, and then we broke up and we started Cactus, and then we did BBA, and I did all this stuff, Rod Stewart. And when I was with Rod even loved You Keep Me Hanging On. He said, I wish I would have sung that song. And I said, well, why don't we do it? I said, I'm in the band now. It's a good excuse. So we did do it. So we put it on Loose and Fancy Free album, except he did the whole orchestral arrangement for the middle part, but we did it very much like Vanilla Fudge. And we did it live. So that was really weird, playing with Rod Stewart 10 years later in front of like 20,000 people a night and doing You Keep Me Hanging On again,
Yeah.
And then the years went by, and we would get together once in a while. In '86, we did a tour. We did an album in '84. Then we broke up again. Then we came back in 2000s without Mark Stein. And then in 2000, I think it was 5, we got a manager that said, we got the original band together, because I was wanted to join the Doors, who he managed, to get in something big again. He said, why do you want to join the Doors? You got Vanilla Fudge. And I told him, well, nobody speaks to each other. It's all crazy. So he got everybody together and put it back together. And he put us on tour with the Doors, and we were playing big arenas again with the Doors. And then Tim got in a motorcycle accident and put us back like a year. And then in that year, it got kind of weird, and it fell apart again. Then we got back together again. And now we're together without Tim, and Tim has got cancer, and we got a new record deal, and we're going to do another album if this virus ends, and then we can hopefully get Tim on that album with us and be the original members,
Yeah, and so tell me about the kind of the relationship with Tim and the other guys. Is it like a family? Do you feel that family dynamic, or
Yeah, it's more like really close friends,
Yeah.
With Tim, it was like a brother. Tim was like my brother, because I went through Fudge, Cactus, BBA, and then we had a fight, and then we got back together. friends, and I brought him into playing with some tracks with Rod, and we did some stuff in Japan, and so he was like my brother.
Yeah.
He was like Ronnie. He was like Ronnie was to Vinny, Tim
Right.
was to me. And now same thing. He's dying of cancer. We don't know how long he's got, and I call him all the time, and I went to see him a bunch of times. Whenever I'm in LA, I go see him. But
Yeah. It's really
it's
sad.
wild. It's really sad. This disease stuff, man, and this virus thing is really crazy.
It's,
Mhm.
yeah. Taking so many people and so many of the greats and everything, and it's just,
It's really funny. We wrote a song. I got this album, Guitar Zeus,
yeah.
right? And it has all these great guitar players on it. And we wrote a song in 1997, and Zach Weiler's on it, and it's called Code 19.
Really?
Okay? And everybody's saying, man, I feel like I'm living in a sci-fi movie. The opening line of the song is, feels like I'm living in a movie, right? And in the chorus, I said, well, the song is sort of what's going on now, but the chorus had this, it said homicide, suicide, genocide. So I said, well, the genocide's in there,
Yeah.
suicide and homicide. And then I heard about these doctors killing themselves,
Yeah.
doing suicide. And I said, wow, now we got suicide in there. All I need is hearing about homicide over this virus. And the song lives true today, I was going to do a video, like a lyric video of it. I said, you know what? I think I'll wait.
Yeah,
for this
wait.
to end. I think I'll wait till this thing ends.
That's the depressing part of this.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. It's terrible.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really bad. Well, Carmine, I wanted to ask you also about your moment with Pink Floyd. Can you tell me a little bit about that and working on the
It
momentary
was a
laugh?
moment. It was a moment.
It was a moment. You
Yeah.
did some clapping, right?
It was like I came home one day, and on the answer machine is Bob Ezrin, the producer, and he said, "Hey, Carmine, give me a call. I got this band that's just screaming for Carmine drum fills on this one track." I said, "Okay." So I called him. I said, "Hey, Bob, how you doing? Who's the band?" He goes, "Pink Floyd." I said, "Pink Floyd?
I
Where's
heard of them.
I said, "Where's Nick?" He goes, "Well, Nick is there, but Nick has been driving his motorcycles, his Ferraris around racing, and his calluses are all soft, and they're looking for some new energy." So I thought of you. I said, "Really?" So I said, "Okay." So I worked out a fee. I had my roadie bring my drums down there. I spent the whole day in the studio. They had the whole track on a 4-track machine, and the 24-track was just my drums. So I don't know how many reels they must have done. I did this thing all day long, to
Wow.
the point I couldn't hear the thing anymore. My high end of my ears were going out. So Bob said, "Put some tissue paper in your ear," because when you're in the studio a long time, and you're playing loud, the high end goes. And when I put the tissue paper in, I could hear again. I could hear it really good. So I used that technique from then on. But, and then there was David Gilmour, and the keyboard player, and Tony Levin played bass. They were all there. Nick was there hanging around. And I felt really weird playing the song with Nick there.
Yeah.
And then I left, and I said, "Bob, when can I hear something?" He goes, "Oh, call me in a couple of weeks." I call him in a couple of weeks. "Hey, Bob, how's it going?" He goes, "In a word, daring." I said, "Great. So when am I going to hear it?" He goes, "Call me in another couple of weeks." So I call him in another couple of weeks. "Is it done yet?" "No, I'm not done." "Well, how's it going?" "Fantastic." All these one-word descriptions, So finally, he said, "Call me in 2 more weeks." I call him again in 2 more weeks. Now I'm in Toronto. No, I'm in Ottawa, Canada, doing this movie, Black Roses, right? That I played on the soundtrack, and they wanted me to be in the movie because it was a movie all about the devil band and blah, blah, blah. I turned into a monster at the end, and so I'm up there.
What was your name in that movie?
Oh, Vinny Apache.
Oh, really?
Vinny Apache. Yeah, they said, "What do you want? What's your name in the movie?" I said, "Oh, let's goof on my brother." I said, "I'll call me Vinny Apache."
Vinny Apache. That's
So
me.
So that was Vinny Apache number. I forgot about that. That's good, Vin.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
awesome.
so then I called him again, and he said, well, I couldn't get him. And then I hear on the radio, the new Pink Floyd album is out in the stores. So I'm in Canada, and you know, Canada always has these underground malls because it's always snowing. So I said, damn, I'm going to go down and see if there's a record store. I go down. Sure enough, there was a record store. I bought the cassette, right? The first thing I did was roll up to that song. And that was the first time I heard it. On my Walkman in Canada, by myself in the room, and I was blown away because the production was great. And I'm going, when the freaking drums come in already? You know?
Yeah.
But when I came in, it was like King Kong, you know? And there was drum fills all over the place. It was great. And then that thing went like 5 or 8 million copies, and I never got the gold record or platinum record for it. So as I have a place in Jersey, I ordered the platinum record, and they said, look, it's I think it's 8 times platinum. You want the one with eight of them? I said, no, just give me the platinum. It's fine, you know. So
Yeah.
I got the platinum and the gold record for it, and I paid for myself, by the way.
But you had to have it. I mean, that's such a cool piece of history, right? Like, I mean, to
Yeah, it is. The same thing with Paul Stanley. I had to buy my own gold record there too, platinum record there too.
but you got a couple, so you're good.
I got too many actually.
Yeah.
I got nowhere to put them. So we're moving to Florida now, and I'm gonna have a whole guest house as a studio. I'm gonna put them all over the guest house.
Oh, that's so cool. It's so
Yeah.
cool. So as we kind of wind down, tell me about these drum wars shows that you guys do.
Do you want to hear what did I tell you about the video yet, or did we? I
You
can't
started,
remember.
yeah, you were telling me about the video that that you guys are
We
putting
did.
out.
Okay, we're doing so many of these interviews. I don't know.
Yeah.
And every
I know.
day's the same. Every day's the same. It's like, did we talk about it? You know,
Yeah.
the Drum War show, you know, it started from the Appice and Appice thing, you know,
Yeah.
really. So Vinny was living in the Valley, so was I in LA, and I had a video company with my other family members, my older brother, my sister, an instructional video. And I said, maybe we should do I always had this concept of a drum wars, the show Drum Wars. I even copyright the name and the logo. And I said, maybe we should do like a Drum Wars video to see who wins to win the name, you know? So then we said, yeah,
So that's because we pronounce it differently. We didn't go over that.
yeah, because I say Appice and he says Appice.
I say Appice.
You
And
know,
we have an older brother that says a peach.
Yeah.
Did your parents not tell you the name ever? They never referenced
Well,
it? Or?
They went by Appice. That's what my father said. But when he played with Rod Stewart,
We changed it because when I was with like BBAs, Beck Bogut and Appice,
Uh-huh.
everybody called me Appice, and I would say, no, it's not Appice, it's Appice. So finally, when I got with Rod, you know, I played with a bunch of shows with Rod and Cactus and the Faces. So I got to know Rod really well, and he said, look, man, you got so many ways to say your name. You're like 5 different people. So what do most people call you? I said Appice. He goes, why don't we go by that? I said, okay. So Carmine Appice. Ludwig did an ad. Everyone wants a piece of Appice. It was in every major rock magazine around the world. So that name stuck. So I was 4 years of doing that. And Vinny came out with Sabbath and started doing PR. Vinny Appice.
actually with Derringer first.
Oh, with Derringer first. Okay. But
And
it
Appice.
really hit home with Sabbath.
Yeah, with Sabbath.
Sabbath was bigger, and it was a lot more press. And he even did one of those, what was that thing they used to do? Rock Line. And they said, why are you, you know, Appice? And then Vinny said, well, he's not my brother. And that really freaked him out. You know? So we've been doing that ever since
years.
1980, you know? So this was like in the mid 90s. I had the video company, and I think it was the mid-90s. Was it? Yeah, I think it was then. And we came up and, oh, I know, we did a couple of appearances, didn't we?
Yeah,
We did
clinics.
a couple of clinic appearances, like, and we do some drum battles, and we said, and people hit us with the name and all that. So then we said, you know, we should make a video, a goof video, you know, about the name and how a drum battle, and we'll make it like a documentary of how you're training and I'm training. And, you know, we had this chick who was on KLOS in LA.
Francesca
Francesca
Capucci,
Capucci. She was on KLOS and I think she was
Channel
on
7.
Channel 7 News. So we had her with a microphone. The name of the company was Power Rock. It said Power Rock on the square on the microphone. And she'd go around and do these interviews, including, we both had these Sable cars. We both had a dent in the back. And she'd go, like Vinny copies everything. Carmine, look, Carmine had a dent in the back. Now Vinny has a dent in the back of his car. You know, it was just stupid, silly stuff. And then we go to the Rainbow when he has to own the Rainbow. Who do you think's going to win it? I think Vinny's going to win. Who do you think's going to win? The manager. I think Carmine's going to, just stupid stuff. And then at the end, we get my brother Frank calls in, and it says, Frank calling in on a satellite phone is clearly a regular phone. And he sets it straight and says, it's not a piece, it's not Appice, it's a peach. So from now on, it's Vinny and Carmine Appice.
And that's the end of it.
That's the end of it. Then Francesca goes, well, you heard it from the older brother, so from now on, it's, so it ends up with the drum battles we did, and we did a lot of playing and drum battles. We had Jennifer Batten and Alfonso Johnson playing with us, and we did a drum battle together and with effects and, just stupid stuff. It's really a hilarious video, And then we did a DVD, and then we updated it. But that's where the concept of the Drum Wars show came from.
Yeah.
From the DVD. And we started in 2000.
But now we got it down. We got a band and we know how to do it.
It's a real show. It's a real show.
It's a real high energy show. It's really cool. Play all the music from our histories and.
Yeah, and plus the album we did called Sinister, which is a great album cover. Have you seen that album cover?
Yeah, I was checking it out.
Where we look like Frankenstein, and it's two faces together, but it looks like one face. It's unbelievable. It's funny as hell. That whole album, and the Monsters and Heroes was the song that we're doing with the band live that we're releasing on, in celebration of Ronnie on Saturday. You could tell the energy of the band on it from the video. Really high energy, heavy and high energy, And nobody does double drumming stuff like we do, Because we play so much alike, but different enough where we're identifiable. But if I do a fill, and he points to me, he does a fill, I do a fill, and
we'll do half a fill each and make it
we
one.
Look at each other on stage and go, okay, and he'll start a fill and I'll finish it. We'll throw sticks back and forth, and
I've seen that. Yeah,
it's really fun. Really a lot of fun, and we play hits of Vinny's. We do you think I'm sexy, but we do the heavy version I did on Guitar Zeus that I did with Pat Travis. We do Bark at the Moon. We do Holy Diver. We rock. Mob Rules. We play stuff together separately. We do drum solos and. We do a thing, a lot of different stuff. It's a really unique show like you've never seen. Everyone that's seen it said, I've never seen anything like it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great show.
Yeah, hopefully we're able to get concerts back soon and you guys can come to the Bay Area and play it here because that'd be really awesome to see.
It would be awesome, yeah. We'd love to do it, and we'll see, it's just crazy. I just was notified by Bianca. My daughter said that the LA County is going to be locked down for 3 more months.
3 more months. Yeah, I heard that today too. It's just like,
wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, in 3 months it'll be the same shit. It'll be
Yeah,
we're gonna lock it down until 2022, and there'll be nobody left here. Everybody be.
Well, the 100 years ago,
dead.
It took 2.5 years for it to go away. It went away by itself because everybody got immune to it. The ones that didn't die got immune.
Well, maybe they'll have a vaccine.
Yeah, if they come up with a vaccine or at least a treatment that works.
Yeah.
You think they have a treatment by now.
Yeah, I was joking with my girlfriend today that I'll just plan on being quarantined for the rest of my life, and anything short of that, will be right. So,
Crazy.
That's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
they just lifted we don't have to wear masks now outside. Not that I did anyway, but it's nice to see people, jogging and walking around, bicycling without
Well,
the
what
stupid
about going
mask.
to a store? You have to wear it going into a store, though.
Yeah, well, that's up to the store. But yeah,
Really?
we went to a store yesterday. Half the people weren't even wearing the mask.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm
And
wearing
then-
it anyway.
And then,
Yeah.
did you see that United Airlines flight? United
Ah.
keeps sending emails saying, we're very concerned about our customers. We're cleaning the planes 4
Yeah.
times a day. And then we're going to leave the middle seats empty for
Yeah.
your,
Yeah.
and then the doctor got on the plane and it was packed, middle seats and all.
Same thing with American Airlines.
They don't give a shit.
We're
It's
getting
so
all
full of
these
shit.
emails on how good they're doing, what they're doing, and
Yeah.
there's going to be a middle seat, blah blah blah. And on Yahoo, the plane was packed.
Packed, yeah, packed. And
Right.
people were horrified. They went on thinking,
Yeah,
all right, at least I'm safe. There's a middle seat.
yeah.
It won't be so cramped and contagious. And then they get on, and this was a doctor, and he was horrified and shocked.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Wow.
driving to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Safe way to do it.
We're driving to Florida.
Yeah. Take a road trip. It'll be like the old days, right? Of being in a van.
Yeah, I mean, we have a new dog that can't fly anyway, that somebody have to drive him. So we just said, let's just drive. And we're going with Pete and Chris, the brothers.
Oh, yeah? What about
Yeah.
Shaggy?
Well, Shaggy's in South Carolina,
Oh,
and he's selling pools now to make some money. So I
Oh.
wrote that, he's out of work. And he's going to people's houses. And I said, well, we don't want to take a chance.
Yeah. No.
He's going to people's houses. We're driving with him for 2 days. That'll be how we get the virus. So I told him, so we're going to go with the kids in their van and their trailer.
Yeah. Got to be safe.
Safer.
Well-
It's funny. We live right by 95 here in Connecticut. Straight down 95 all the way to West Palm. Straight down.
Unbelievable.
And my girlfriend got 2 hotels. The first night and the second night. She already got them like a 5-hour drive and then a 9-hour drive, and then 5 hours again. So
Yeah.
so I'll be taking my drums from here on the trailer, and the dog and all the stuff we need. We haven't been to the city in 2 months. We're going there Sunday to pick up a bunch of stuff we need. I mean,
Wow.
that place is like crazy, crazy. You
Yeah.
see the pictures of Times Square empty?
It's
empty.
It's nuts. It's all nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I told a friend of mine who's a photographer, he's taking all these pictures of Times Square and all these, places in New York. I said, dude, take them now, because when this clears out and they make a sci-fi movie about it, you can
Yeah,
sell
you
them
got
the
it.
pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so surreal to see that sort of stuff, right? Like you never
Unbelievable.
ever be able to happen. But
Especially
And
we grew
I
up
was just
there,
and I was just there in February when we played
Yeah.
with my girlfriend. So we went to Times Square and all the tourist spots, and it was just jam packed.
yeah.
And we were just observing everything, and then you go see it on TV. It's like
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah,
Scary.
that's the last gig I did was with Vinny, and February 9th, and drum was in New York. And then you did one more gig after that you showed
Yeah,
me.
March 14th, squeaked right by the cutoff date.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping at least through this that, traffic is a lot lighter in all the cities, right? Like as businesses are finding out that, that they can have people working from home and, and kind of spacing that out. I mean, because that's a big problem anyway, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well-
Vinny, when this is done, call me. I want to tell you about something that I can't talk about here.
can't talk about it on the pod. So sounds
Okay.
good. Well,
Cool.
Carmine, Vinny, thank you for taking the time. This has been a real pleasure
Thank
hearing
you.
your stories.